Good morning, folks. A little bit late up and running today, must apologise. Just going to check to see that you are getting the stream. Yes, looks like you are. Okay, great. Morning, everybody. On the chat, I do apologise for the delay setting up today. It has been a traumatic time getting up here in terms of travel today, so I do apologise. We'll get on in just a second. A couple more things to connect, but we won't miss anything now. He says, crossing his fingers, crossing everything. Right, you go there, you go there. Blimey. Right, one more bit of kit to connect, folks. Assuming I can find it. There we go. Just catch this arrival for you. A bit of early helicopter action for you. Blimey. If you've just joined us, just setting up, running a little bit late, bear with me, and I'll be on the chat very, very shortly. Bit of morning helicopter action. Right, let's carry on with this setup so we can get going for you. Right, I'm screwing a mount on in case you're wondering what the noise was, folks. Oh, for goodness sake. And now I'm dropping bits for it. Right. You on there. Okay, right. Screwing a mount on in case you're wondering what the noise was, folks. Alright, and that's me coming back to myself. Right, good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Liam's Aviation, Gaming Plus More, and Doros Petsas, Kevin Turner, Martin T, Richard, and I think that's all of you at the minute. A warm, warm welcome to the stream. It is a great pleasure to have you here with us. We are playing Caster. We're live from Bristol Airport, and we've got lots of arrivals and departures for you. This is kind of a good time for that midday arrival sequences, I think. So, on with the show. Next EasyJet departure A320 to Bordeaux, according to Liam's Aviation 8. Thank you very much. We'll be getting that one right over the head here, up at the common today. Just checking my balance on the camera while we've got a second. Now that we've loaded it up with loads of goodies. That seems okay, doesn't it? In terms of arrival information, let me show you what I've got. We are experimenting with this data at the moment. Your patience with it is appreciated, but I hope what you find and what you see here is useful on the whole. Windy up the common here again. We've had to suppress the mic, so I'm going to try and just edge it up a little bit. If that wind noise is too much, let me know. I can hear it in my ears just as you're hearing it on the stream, so it doesn't sound too bad to me at the minute, but if you have a problem with it, let me know and I'll sort it out. That is rubbish, isn't it? Let's turn that down. Let's turn it down. Just like when we were up here Monday, really, quite a interesting crosswind, quite blustery, quite chilly. What camera do you use? Liam's Aviation, and also good morning, Martin Bragg. Good morning to you. Welcome to the stream. It's a Canon XF200, Liam. It is an HD camera. We thought we'd concentrate on doing HD well rather than 4K, especially considering the transmission challenges we have around here. And it's well, I guess it's a semi-professional camera, so it does afford us a few luxuries that make putting together this sort of stuff a little bit easier than it was with the little baby Panasonic I had before. Panasonic video camera is just absolutely amazing, but of course they are just designed to kind of whip out of your bag, take some footage and put back in again, and then when you start connecting them up to HDMI encoders you have all manner of problems with it. How are we doing then this morning? I have had like 3 separate occasions of trouble this morning doing various things on my routine to coming up here to bring this show to you. And the biggest challenge of all, would you believe, was having breakfast. My word, the trouble I had this morning. Anyway, be glad to know I'm all fed. Mountain Cafe Bar in, I'm trying to remember that's what it's called now. Mountain Cafe Bar in Caerphilly this morning. What a bacon roll. What a bacon roll. It's quite magnificent, the sort they'll sing songs about. Now, I know from previous experience, so I'm just going to move this equipment down here a little bit. When this takes off, if this is a sharp old takeoff angle, then I may struggle to get the camera around. So just bear with me, folks. Sorry if these pictures look erratic. It's just to try and make sure that I can hopefully... I'm not convinced, actually. I'm not convinced, but we'll do our best. We've also managed to unscrew the mount there, which is going to cause some fun. I live near the airport, so I go up every day, might see it. No problem, Liam. No problem at all. I'm sure you can see where we are. Let's not miss this. Folks, I wouldn't say I've got this tripod to the absolute peak of my satisfaction, but it's, I guess it's going to have to do. Just right. Okay, folks, I'm ever so sorry, but the we have like a screw mount on the camera, and it's come undone, which is the bane of the life of all people who have to pan like this, apparently. So I've just gone round there, and hopefully in an effort to fix that problem. Oh crikey, now I've got myself caught up. Sorry folks, this is comedy hour, isn't it? This really is. Bear with me, you're going to have to miss this one. This is why you come, yeah? You come for the chaos. Tell me that the chaos is part of the deal, yeah? Right. Got any professional photographers on here or videographers preferably, who use heavy duty tripods? Like, got this amazing tripod we use here, which I went and travelled halfway across the UK to get, and when it becomes unscrewed because you're going anti-clockwise, it is quite inconvenient, and I've never quite worked out why they would make it like that. Looks like we're expecting an A320 in from Palma de Mallorca. Let's have a quick look on there. Nothing on the radar to suggest that's anywhere close. Next arrival then potentially at 12:19, which is from Malaga. Anyway, we won't miss anything now, providing I don't tip the tripod over or fall over or do anything otherwise stupid. Good morning, Simon Kirby. I just saw your tweet. I couldn't possibly comment on that. Liam's Aviation, I use the National Geographical one. It's quite good. It was 40 quid. It's I found that I've needed something quite heavy duty and professional grade out here, Liam, which unfortunately was a little bit more than 40 quid, and it's a great tripod. I think it's the head probably more than the tripod, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? We never understand. I never understand these things. If it's mechanical, I've got no chance of understanding it, essentially. If it was digital or required some programming, no problem. Right. Someone sounds barking mad nearby. Blimey, Simon, you haven't seen half the chaos in here already this morning. All induced by myself. Right, let's have a look. Oh, Liam, you got the Dreamliner earlier. Fantastic. Love that plane, and I'm never here at the right time to catch it. Let's show you something I've been working on. You can tell me if you find this useful or not. The departure that just left here on its way to Bordeaux. That keeps an eye on the sky. That aircraft was OEIVR. So, thanks to the miracle of Radar Box, let's see if I put in here OE. Sorry, I can type quicker on this, it's just my phone is practically on the floor. See what you think of this information, folks. Tell me if it's useful. Or if it's remotely interesting, for that matter. So it's 7 AM, is it, Liam? Yeah. My problem is, from the spot I'm at the moment, broadcasting from here would be inconsiderate, shall we say, to the neighbours. So I wouldn't want to lose any of that goodwill that we have. Let's give you some more interesting sights here. What's in the airport at the moment? So first of all, here's your crosswind indicator. And the airport we know and love is very quiet at the moment, so I would imagine plenty of arrivals to come. I can only see one contender in at the minute, and it's this one. Sorry about the growth. Big on nature here. A warm welcome to everybody who's joined the stream today, whether you're an existing subscriber and you've been often, or you're new and you found us on a different platform. Primarily all the chat and everything's on YouTube, so if you're talking to us on Facebook or Twitter or Twitch even, we can't communicate with you on there, not at the moment anyway, not during real time, because I just don't have the hands to check all the various platforms and I haven't got a unified chat system up yet. But if you want to chat, come over to youtube.com/@planecaster and click that like and subscribe button, and you are part of the family here. Come and chat to us, and you'll be very welcome. We'd love to hear from you today. Right, just going to do a couple of other admin bits for a second, folks. I've got my eyes on the skies, don't worry. Liam's Aviation, quite interesting. Yeah, it is quite cool, isn't it, when you see how many flights these planes are doing and how well they're utilised. I mean, like, they're smashing it, aren't they? Absolutely smashing it. Okay, just a bit of admin, folks. I'll be with you in a second. I must say a big hello to you if you're part of the Bristol spotting community. The Bristol spotters kind of like a community that's been on Facebook and in the form of a website and everything, celebrating 10 years, which is absolutely amazing. So congratulations to all involved. Liam, yeah, I totally agree in terms of that. It's never really worked for me, to be honest, because I don't have a vehicle that I can or a platform that I can use to get high enough to get past a fence, so I've never considered that location seriously. Only tried it once. I wouldn't say it was very satisfactory. Excuse me. We know you have a choice of streams today, folks. I see YouTube like you guys will, and I know that there's some amazing streamers on today all over the country. Thank you so much for making it Bristol. If there's anything you're specifically looking to see today, make sure you let me know. If you've got loved ones on planes that you want to catch their landing or takeoff, let me know, and the same whether you know people on the plane. I did say on the Bristol spotting group to one of the Bristol Airport dispatchers she would have to give us a wave, but I'm not sure our cameras will really stretch that far. I mean, we can zoom in, but it's the heat haze is not so good, so I think we'll have to save that for another time. I don't think I've put this mount in the right place, and I'm going to move it while I have a second. Sorry that we've started during a quiet time. It is generally expected to be quite busy, so bear with us. It'll get better. There we go. Indra Chachiji, I like the statistics. Did you buy a Manfrotto tripod? I did originally, and I managed to break it. So this is a Vinton with a fluid head on top. So a bit more kind of pro grade, I'm led to believe. It's not a subject I know a great deal about, but that's kind of roughly where I'm coming from. I'm not sure that mount's even going to work there. There must be somewhere better I can put it. And they're resisting the urge to say something childish, and I will resist the urge because I'm a professional broadcaster. You know. Right, what if it was on there? That might be quite funky. Let's have a go. So what I have is a mount for attaching my phone, so I don't have to keep taking it out of my pocket, switching it back on again, just leave it on for the whole session. Then I can keep a closer eye on the chat and also ensure that the stream is going out correctly. So that's what I'm trying to kind of organise at the moment, folks, if you're wondering what I'm going on about. I must again just say, all right, the camera needs balancing now, sorry folks, just a minute. Right. Must just let you know, folks, regular visitors to our stream will know that we do operate with a small delay to work with the airport and to comply with their requirements in terms of making sure the security and integrity of everything is maintained. So apologies if it appears, I know the camera's going up, I'm still adjusting stuff. Apologies if it appears I'm not talking to you or not responding very quick. It's not actually the case. It's just that the delay means I'm not seeing, or I am seeing your message, but you're not hearing my reply. Do you know, one day I'm going to explain that in an actual professional way. Right, let's turn on the alerts. We are also trying to test out our alert system today, so you should find details of the inbound plane on the left of your screen at some point during the approach. It is a little bit haphazard. Thank you very much, Liam. Next arrival in 3 minutes is Jet 2737-800 from Alicante. All eyes on the sky in that case. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name, sir. EGGD. I like BRS. It's a shame they aren't busy. I mean, keep your eyes open now, though. We have our moments. It just tends to be a little bit quiet. You have these sort of like little periods of quiet, but yeah, keep your eye open. Sturdy tripods are worth shopping for and playing around with. Call me Indy. Sorry, Indy. I've seen it now. Right, Indy. I must try and remember that. You're very welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Martin Bragg, enjoying the stream. As you can see, takeoffs, landings and some action on the ramp. That's it. Lovely, Martin. Thank you. Apologies if I've missed anybody. Make yourself known and I'll be more than happy to say hello to you. It's a great pleasure to have you here today. There we are. There's your inbound now, just up there somewhere. That zooms a little bit too far, isn't it? Sorry, folks. Wind, as it was on Monday, is playing havoc with our this tripod is like a sail, so when the wind catches it, the slices bump like this, makes it jump. So, apologies. Doing my best with it. This Jet 2 pilot is the world famous Alicante, and it's another of Simon Kirby's magnificent aviation puns. I think Alicante likes to fly with his first officer Benny Dorm, doesn't he? Is that right? No particular evidence of any crosswind related difficulties there, that's for sure. Just a regular day at Bristol, I guess, for these wonderful pilots. In winter, by the way, as well as hearing me freeze to death up here, you will see a lot more on this because the bushes definitely die back quite a bit. There we are. I don't know if you can get a view there of Ali Kanti and Benny Dorm in the flight deck. Thank you for that, Simon. Amazing stuff as ever, amazing work. Registration for you there on that one or not? No, doesn't appear we have it on that one. I'm sure you would have got it on the pop-up if it actually did come up. Good friends of EP. Simon, honestly. Right, another arrival now. Watch now, Indy. We'll show you. We'll get super busy. We'll have 3 in a row. A bit of reverser noise there. Not so evident with the other one. But these folks wanted to slow down, that's for sure. The white livery, definitely my favourite, I think. I reckon I'll be in the minority there, won't you? I bet everybody else loves the kind of silver grey red. One takeoff, 2 landings. Let's just give you the oversight of the field operations there. Magnificent chat, love it. Welcome to the new subscribers who have joined since we went live this morning. It is always a pleasure to see that number going up. I know it's only a very low number compared to some of the other broadcasters on the internet, and I know you have a great choice today of broadcasters, but thank you so much for joining us. This is Planecaster. We're live from Bristol Airport, and if you haven't pressed that subscribe button yet, and you like what you see, please do press it, and we'll be able to keep you up to date with our future live streams, not screams, which are generally on a Friday. There's the control tower here. Another approach on the way now. Looks like a series of. Let's have a look. Is it over there, I think? Looks very EasyJet, doesn't it? Hello, Oliver Long. Oliver Long is one of our Patreons, and thank you for that, Oliver. Fantastic. Dan, it's a shame we'll never see your favourite Alaskan livery at BRS. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Oh, blimey, the livery with the faces on the tail. What's that all about? Always makes me chuckle when I see them. Of Oliver Long, a great friend and supporter of the channel, and very, very supportive with his knowledge and his time, and indeed his Patreon membership. So thank you very much, Oliver. Much appreciated. It's great to see you here today. And unless we've got any diversions from an awful long way away, I doubt we'll see any Alaskans. Well, Alaskan aircraft anyway. I can't speak for Alaskan people. Lovely stuff. I must say a special thank you as well to Simon Kirby, who is a great supporter to this channel, not only in the time that he spends with us and puts brilliant comments on, and the odd cheesy one, which we love him for, but also thank you very much, Simon, for doing the great moderation work you do. It is very valued when you can get the time to come and join us. It's fantastic to have you here. Thank you. We don't take any of it for granted. Echo Zulu Whiskey Delta for EasyJet there, and another on approach, so the rush continues. Apparently, if you look in the right part of the sky. Where's he gone? I know when I watch streams sometimes I'm like, for goodness sake, how can you not see it? It's there. But on these screens it is a lot harder to see. Oh, there it is. Right, okay, that's better. Apologies if you're screaming at it going, it's there for goodness sake. Right. I'm getting up now, so I'm going to have to reduce that zoom. Hello, Duros Pets. Welcome back to the channel. Lovely to have you here. I think you were with us earlier, but yeah, welcome back. I did mean to say that. It's great to have you here. When there's a second, I'll show you this. You'll You'll laugh at what I'm wearing today. Comes from bitter experience of standing in this field, let me tell you. Another one on approach. So what do you think of this now, Indy? We are literally Heathrow at the moment. Without the heavy. Heathrow without the heavies. That's a new name for Bristol Airport. What do you reckon? It's a good job though, because the airport was practically empty. There would have been nothing for anybody to do. A great time to get a drink at the bar though, wouldn't it? Hello Ryanair. Right, okay, let's see if we can get your reg. Sorry about the brightness of everything today. It's crazy, isn't it? EIDHS, I think that is. Another one on approach, so we won't dwell. We'll get back to it. Oh, that's handy. The weather is very kindly put a cloud there, roughly where the plane is. Just me tweaking the focus, folks. Okay. Right. The sound of me trying to find something there. Fear not, I do not live in a tent on this field. As we've seen really so far on pretty much all the streams that we've had, nothing appears to be troubled by any of the weather that we've brought you so far on the stream, and certainly in the today with this, it's definitely a crosswind. It's kind of hitting me from the north, but doesn't seem to be causing these folks any problems at all. Wonderful professionals that they are. I guess that's what we'd expect. And I guess it's like anybody travelling on a plane is very glad about. So this flight is in from Pisa. Now I shall be on this flight, on this very flight, coming home not next Wednesday, Wednesday week. So if any spotters are listening and are going to be up here on the Wednesday and could catch a video of the landing, that would just be so cool. And I'll be going outbound to Pisa Sunday week with EasyJet. Looking forward to that very much. Just little minor corrections because of the wind. Honestly, nothing there looks drastic at all. Just sign of a little float there, and we saw quite a bit of floating yesterday on SDTV stream at Gatwick. That was quite interesting, wasn't it? Doris Petses, question, how can I donate or something? That's amazing, Doris. Thank you very much for asking. We're not big enough to be a YouTube monetized channel yet, so we have a Patreon account, which is patreon.com/planecaster. If you want to make a regular donation or something like that, or if you'd just like to make a one-off and buy me a beer or a coffee, then you can go to I can't remember I think it's buymeacoffee.com/planecaster. Either way, thank you so much. That's incredibly kind of you. So Indy says, I've had one downbuster landing this year on a Ryanair flight. Oh, tell us about that, Indy. I love hearing about other people's flights. Never so much when it's my own. It always puts the wind up me. The rush is on. We started with one, now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on stand at the moment, maybe 6. Another one on the way. Yeah, Doris, thanks ever so much for asking that. Much appreciated. It's patreon.com/planecaster. We don't make a big thing of it because we're just glad you're here actually, and we're a new channel and we want to kind of prove to you and make what you do make what we do popular and enjoyable really. But that's an amazing thing to ask. Thank you very much. Yeah, so it's patreon.com/planecaster or buymeacoffee.com, and I'm sure it's /planecaster on that as well, or if you Google the two they'll definitely come up. Our logo is quite unmistakable on both services. Simon, you are of course quite right in terms of YouTube, because we have to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then we have to also have a certain amount of watch hours, and although we're on a good target to get towards that at some point, it's certainly not going to happen in the next month or so, put it that way. On that subject, let me just say thank you to all the new subscribers who've joined us today already. I can see as if I check on the actual YouTube app, I can see that the subscriber thing has gone up since when we started today, so thank you. You're very, very welcome. We hope we bring you some great content here from Bristol Airport. Normally where we're located here, if you like your landings, we're in the perfect spot for 2-7 operations. Unusual for us to have 2 weeks running 09s, but that's the way it's worked out. Let's get you the reg of that one. Easy PB. Now, there's still another arrival in the sky. It is all happening here at Bristol. I reckon the air traffic controllers have lunch and then they all come back and they say, right everybody, let's get you all in at once. Of course it doesn't happen that way at all. It's far more professional than that. Don't listen to anything I say. I agree, Doris. You absolutely are. Superstar. Just looking at that zoom in shot on the heat haze there. Wow, blimey, it's crazy. I actually had a go around. One of 2 go-arounds I've had, although one didn't really feel like a go-around. The only main go-around I've ever had was here at Bristol, coming back from Venice. and it was on a 27, and obviously just suddenly the flaps coming back in, the engine speed going up and climbing quite sharply was quite interesting, and obviously nothing. The cabin crew just said the captain's decided not to continue the landing. Please bear with us, he'll make an announcement in a moment, and he did in due course. We were flying over the sea, obviously over the channel there, and it just came on calm as anything. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, there was just another plane on the runway, so we couldn't land. That's it, nothing to worry about. And it was just the most calming message ever. And I know go-arounds happen all the time, but I think if you're on a plane and it happens, even though you know, especially if you're like an aviation nerd like myself, you know that they happen, you know they're normal, and you know they're for the very best of reasons. Still puts the wind up you slightly. So that's the only real thing in modern history, scary landing if you will, that I've ever had. Right, it may not surprise you to know there's another one on approach. This is a good time to arrive, right? Even if I was a bit late. You can blame that on several reasons today, all to do with me trying to get some breakfast this morning. Right, when we pan round and show you the amount of tails at the airport compared to what it looked like earlier, I think you'll be very impressed. Big hello to you if you're watching us on Facebook, Twitch or Twitter. Although I'm not convinced the Twitter one is working, to be honest with you, but welcome to you. Welcome to watch the stream. Please feel very welcome here. In terms of chat, if you are chatting on any of those platforms, I can't hear you or see you, or see your messages I should say. That is something that I can only monitor on YouTube, so if you'd like to come across to youtube.com/@planecaster and join the fun here, and you'll be very welcome to join us all in the chat. Quite blustery at the minute, as you may be able to hear. This one, EVM, Echo Victor, what's the word, Mike, not mother, as I was going to say. So that's what the airport is looking like now. You probably can't quite see them all there, the bush, but there's another two just out of your view, and quite a lot more going on. Quite interesting to see how well Ryanair utilised their fleet. So let's have a look at the stats for EIEVM while we have a brief moment. Just calling that up on the system now. I haven't kind of made it very interactive for myself. EI-EVM. Let's have a look at the stats for that one. Go, the Ryanair screeches to a halt. My little app losing the plot here a little bit, so let me just reset that. Does anybody else manage to start screen recording on their iPhone continuously? It does my head in. Link on the chat. Doros? Yes, possibly. Yes, let me see what I can do for you. 1 second. Patreon.com is for like a recurring donation if that's what you'd like to do, and in terms of a one-off, then I'll just get you the link for buymeacoffee.com. This was in response to Doros asking earlier, so thank you very much for that. More than anything, we are glad you're here. Right, and I have a link for you here as well. I actually had the address right. Unbelievable. There you go. Please don't feel compelled, folks. It is, if it's something you can afford to do and you like what you see and you'd like to support us, then that would be absolutely amazing and help us towards the costs of bringing you this stream. That would be amazing, whether it's a one-off or a recurring. But right now we're concentrating on our content. So many great streams this week. Plain sailing, aviation from Newcastle, Think Planes from Manchester, Simon Lowe from Manchester, Kev from Aviation Action at BHX, Birmingham, of course. It's amazing that this is such a thriving scene. Tell you what's also amazing, it's we're not out here on islands by ourselves. We're linked by common subscribers, which is amazing, and at the end of the day, why would you want to just watch one stream anyway? And we also, a few of us do talk to each other as well, so it's yeah, it's a lovely community to be in. And very supportive. That's a bit too far, isn't it? Let's There's the blusters. I do think this week, having turned off the image stabilisation that's built into the camera, that things are a little bit smoother actually. The kind of micro jogs that were being introduced on these long pans on Monday in particular by the wind, the image stabilisation was not handling that very well at all. And this seems to me, from what I'm looking at through the field monitor anyway, to be much smoother. Very sedate taxi speed as this pilot leaves the runway. Looks like a 321 to me. And I'm not talking about Ted Rogers. Anybody remember Ted Rogers? Anybody old enough to even remember Ted Rogers? There's your registration for that one. Golf, Uniform Zulu, Mike Echo. Adding to the many in the airport now. If you flew over this airport, you'd think, oh yeah, that's quite a busy airport. Not like earlier. Right, my chat has frozen, so just bear with me. I'll see if I can wake that up. It's a regular occurrence here. John Holdaway, best landing I've had at BRS was way back with XL. Oh, I loved XL. Was that 737 or 75 that they had as well, didn't they? And I actually remember flying on one of their 767s to Alicante from Gatwick. The pilot earned his money on that one. His only comment was some people pay a lot of money at Alton Tower for a ride like that. There's nothing quite like the joy, is there, of being able to recount it once you're actually on the ground. Some of the people who flew in Storm Eunice and some of those other prominent storms we had. Oh man, you people are absolutely are made of steel. I mean, I appreciate you didn't have much choice in the matter because you're kind of already on the plane, but fair play to you for going through that. Right, let's pretend we're in the airport and have a look at the board. I think that 1241 has just come in that you can see. Next arrival in 20 minutes or so, which is the Ibiza service on a Jet 2 737-800. Weather here today is nice. It is windy though. It's VFR flight conditions, it won't surprise you to hear. The wind direction is 050. Wind speed is 14 knots, which I'd take to be an average, I think, rather than gusts. 6.2 miles visibility, that seems to be the figure they put when it's completely clear. The sky is completely clear, as we can see here, and 15 degrees is the temperature. However, having said that, sorry, I've just knocked the camera there, I do apologise. This is what happens when you're me though, because you'd think I'd be up here in a t-shirt and shorts, wouldn't you? You'd be wrong. because the wind is freezing. Note to self, zoom out next time you actually try and do a piece to camera. So this seems to be a good time to tell you that you're watching Planecaster. youtube.com/@Planecaster is the main destination, the main home for us. We're live from Bristol Airport every Friday. My name is Danny and I am your host. And when I finally get breakfast, you will find me in a far more joyous sounding voice like I have now, because this morning, if you'd have caught me before I had breakfast, you know, that was a whole different ball game. Hangry is the word, is it not? Now, I don't know if we can catch this here. This bird was doing some amazing hovering. I don't know if this camera mode is kind of made for this job. Look, let's not even try and do that. Mega amounts of takeoffs soon, as everything you see there has eventually got to leave, I would imagine. You got it, Simon, you got it. A little bit of light aviation here, except struggling to catch it on the lens, which is catching the sun. Beautiful day to go flying up here. Look at this, wonderful stuff. Let's see. Now this will date me, my first flight ever was way back on a Viscount out of BRS. No way, John. Wow. That does sound incredible. Wow, wow, wow. Just trying to find that one for you on the viewfinder. Oh, blimey, I know you're there. Come on, show yourself. There you are. My first flight was on a Britannia, but it wasn't a Bristol Britannia. It was a Britannia 737-200, the sort that had an aerial going from the front to the back, which was amazing. Simon, I wonder if there's a reward for catching the Felton Common Yeti. I could be quitting. Forget about YouTube monetization. This could be my key to success. This time next year, could be a millionaire. One of the best excuses we have had on the chat so far today, I am up to my elbows in guinea pig sawdust. wind is beasting it. Doris and John, I think, are having a discussion about who's the oldest. John, do you remember much about that flight? It would be fascinating to kind of like hear about it. And Bristol's a very different airport. Was that Bristol Whitchurch or still Lulsgate? Because Lulsgate was military, wasn't it? Back then you were lucky to 10 aircraft a day. I mean, that sounds a little bit like my local airport, which, I live in Cardiff, so my local airport, of course, is Cardiff. And they've just had some blinding news this week that the return of Qatar Airways is on the cards, and before the end of the year. So it looks like we'll be seeing Dreamliners back at Cardiff, which will be amazing. Contrasts a bit really with the news that perhaps we won't see the Dreamliners so much here at Bristol in the next year and the year after, but we're hoping that decision is still to be kind of checked out, and maybe they'll make a change. Mario Paramedic, hello, good afternoon, welcome to the stream. Lovely to have your company. Hope we find you well today. After watching a stream on one of the various streams, I think it was Think Planes earlier this week, I have now developed an obsession with the legend of Golf Echo Zulu Uniform Sierra, which is Jesus, and it's an EasyJet A320. We haven't seen it down here in Bristol for a bit, so here's some stats about it, what it's been up to in recent months. But we need to get that plane down to Bristol so we can kind of tick it off our virtual list as such. I ought to do a plane spotter's notebook really of all the planes that come in on this screen. I can show them on the screen, can't I? But I can only program this stuff so quickly. And mostly unreliably, it has to be said. Data you are seeing on your screen comes to us courtesy of our friends at Radar Box, who have very, very, very kindly agreed to supply us with access to data feeds so that we can try and do some interesting stuff with our visuals on the channel here. And it's just, it's just wonderful that we have access to this. It will take some experimentation. I think everything you see you can definitely consider to be in beta at the moment. A good old software term to basically excuse tripe, but it is something we're looking to develop and make better and better, and realistically with some of the things we're doing, like the pop-ups that come up on the approaching aircraft. Speaking of which, here is one. Then unfortunately the best way to test that kind of thing is to be here in the field and just see how it works, because I'm sure you've probably noticed the pop-ups don't come up for every flight. I think I saw a good afternoon from somebody else there as well, and hello and welcome to you. Sorry, I didn't catch the name, it came up in a different place. Hang on a second. Good afternoon from Leeds, Anthony Quate. I don't know where that comment was, Anthony, but good afternoon to you. I didn't see it in my regular feed, but I saw it as a notification for some reason. YouTube has several weird things it likes to do. life confusing me in general. Yeah, good afternoon everybody on the chat. If there's anybody whose name I haven't mentioned or acknowledged, please do pop your name on there, because I'd love to say hi to you. I'd love to welcome you formally to Planecaster and to our stream from Bristol today, which we do once a week. Lucy Sharman finally caught another Planecaster stream. Glad to see the subs going up. Oh, thank you, Lucy. Thank you. It's great to have you back again. Welcome, welcome. Mario Parademic, I always like to watch, especially when it's windy. Yeah, we'll be definitely getting into that season soon, won't we? That'll be fun. I know from looking on YouTube you've got a great choice of streams today, folks, so the fact you're here just means the world. Thank you. I'll try and do you proud. Great sign of a bird there, just sort of nipping in. On short finals. No, it's got out of the way now. Oh, no, that was interesting, wasn't it? Interesting little catch of wind that they seem to just get there. Very interesting. This looks like the Aviation servers, quite distinctive on the design there. Neo, I think it is. I'm beginning to think when I zoom in, the wind goes up. Loads and loads of aircraft here. We'll be looking to shift a few out on their outbound soon. As we have, when we started, we had one in, and now we've got. You've got one. You can just see one there. Look. You can see those. There we are. And a load of Ryanairs and Jet 2s keeping themselves up that end. And another one there. Trev Lyon, I've just got a notification saying you subscribed. Welcome to the channel. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here. Apologies to other people who I probably haven't acknowledged that they've joined the channel. It's just I only get selected notifications through. You are very welcome though. Let's just be very clear about that. Now I'm just resetting my little app here so I can make sure everything looks like it's working right. Looks like more due in very, very shortly according to my screen here. The Aegean is just making it up. Its way up to the Jet 2 side of the airport. Not that that's a formal thing in the slightest, but it's just funny the way they've kind of settled today. Or at least I don't think it's a formal thing. It never used to be. Another one on arrival now, so let's concentrate our efforts on that one here at Planecaster. I say that, let's try, shall we? If I can find it. I'm an absolute mare today. There it is. The wind is quite variable, as you can hear, and at sea, I imagine. Blimey. If you're watching us today on other channels, folks, like Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, we can't see any messages there, but we can see them on YouTube if you want to join us there, youtube.com/@planecaster. Apologies for that, we are working on unifying the chat at some point. It's on a very long list of things for me to do. Simon Kirby, can I just say how I'm glad I am you're here, because I feel like you're a superstar in the streaming world and everybody knows you, so you instantly make me and this channel 8 times more credible by being here, so thank you. Thank you very much. Don't ever leave. Lucy says, I personally like the stream as it's coming from BRS, a different airport, to others like MAN, BHX, etc. Lucy, are you local to us, or what's your nearest airport, out of interest? You don't have to tell us, of course, but... A few rural farming noises for you as well. If you like watching this stream from Bristol, by the way, because it's kind of like a different airport, then can I definitely recommend Plain Sailing Aviation for your Newcastle streams, and also as he gets in the car and ventures up to the Scottish airports, there's some amazing stuff there, very different, especially if he goes up to Aberdeen. It's I would say Newcastle's a similar size airport to Bristol. I might be wrong, it feels to me like they're kind of comparable. And Mark and his son Eddie bring together brilliant stuff from there as well, so I highly recommend that. E-Z-U-Z, E-Z-U-Z. I only say Z because it's easy, as in, well, you know what I'm trying to say. But we all know it's Z, don't we? Right, another one on approach, just, there it is. Now, is that Tui Blue, Baby I Love You, or is it KLM? One of the two, isn't it? Surely. Oh, Lucy, if you love EasyJet, honestly, we got your back at Bristol, blimey. Oh, fantastic. Doras, bon dia, calamera. I think that means good morning or good afternoon. probably good afternoon where you are, if presuming you are that way, which I think we established you were. Ah, there you go. What Simon says. Totally agree. Whoops. There we go. So that looks like Tui to me. In the great plane detective I am, obviously. Nice gentle landing for those folks. Now in my little observations here, I haven't spotted our little left-hand side pop-up for some time. So I'll take a look and see if I can figure out why that is. That's the reg for you there. 737-800 that is, isn't it? Not the Max? No, exactly. There you go. Little sight up here for you. Heading west. Whoops. Let's have another go. It's so hard to hold it steady when it's zoomed in that far. There you go, anyway. Right, so Lucy Sharman likes EasyJet. Well, there you go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in at the minute. About 3 you can see probably, but you have to take my word for it on the other ones. Doris, no problem at all. Thank you for being here. It's fantastic to have you. And also Blue Sky Live Aviation. Hello, I was watching your stream earlier. Yesterday, day before, sorry. I think you were, where were you? Leeds Bradford. Very much enjoying it, and lovely to see you here. Thanks for joining us today. You will definitely see me on your streams, and I highly recommend that anybody who's on here today checks out Blue Sky Aviation. I always feel like a bit of a fraud telling people to check these other channels out, because most of these channels are way ahead of me in terms of popularity, because we're quite new, but and subscribers because we're quite new. But I mean it. The stuff when I'm not doing this, you will see me on those channels watching those streams. So yeah, lovely to have you here. Okay, let's have a quick look at what we can find here. Nothing on approach at the moment, but we will have the Catania to Bristol service with us in about 5 minutes or so. We do have a little a general aviation just down here. It is quite a way off, and obviously it's only an ickle. Just to give you an idea how far away that is. Probably lose sight of it under the hedge. Nicely done though, nicely done. Good crosswind landing there, I think you'd be very proud of that. Right, what was I going to do there? So we've got the Neo coming in with the Catania service. It's Golf Uniform Zulu High. Let's have a look at the stats for that one, see how they've been working that one. They only make money when they're in the air, these aircraft, of course. Here's a few stats on that one. Here, Simon Kirby. Fantastic stuff. Oh, Lucy, your nearest is BHX, spotted there a few times. Oh, right, so you're probably enjoying aviation action stuff. They're always got plenty going on from Birmingham, haven't they? Let's bring you around here. We try and bring you something new every week in terms of the work I do in terms of the coding to try and bring you better on-screen graphics and stuff. So if you like the stuff we're doing, let us know, or if you've got any feedback on it and stats you'd like to see, let me know, because if we can get access to the data, we very much will try and code it, thanks to the amazing data from our friends at Radarbox. Okay, right, first departure for a while. A little way to go up the runway, let's have a quick look. It's off to Belfast. Regular A320 CEO. So will that make it first, or will we have the Catania arrival? Build up that suspense. Find out here in the next 5 minutes. Oh my word, right, okay. Thank you, welcome to all the new subscribers. There's quite a lot more of you than I thought. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am over the moon that you're here. Blue Sky Live Aviation, I was going to ask you about something. I think the other night you finished your stream and you managed to do something on the stream which flicked your viewers over then to Mac Aviation, I think. That's a great feature, isn't it? I need to try and work that out. I just don't know if I can access that on the move, or whether I need a computer to access it, which is a bit problematic with the setup I have here. I'm more mobile phone based. That's what we can do today. And I know there's, you know, it's not like in the hundreds like it is for other streams, but we can keep this viewing going for you today when we're finished. Not that we're going anywhere yet, mind. But we'll see who's on later. And if I can figure out how to do that, I will do that, because that's definitely something I learned from Mr. Blue Sky Aviation. Now the Catania is on approach, so we'll catch that first. Crikey, wind. It is. When it comes, blimey. focus on that, folks. We have access to manual focus on this particular camera without messing around through menus and things, but it does tend to argue because generally it's on a full auto mode, so that's why you're seeing a few fluctuations. Plus we are zoomed quite a few miles. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Catania on approach. A Catania arrival with EasyJet on approach. A little bit blustery crosswind here, but I don't think the crosswind component is that much. Even though it feels it where I'm standing and being blown around, as you can probably see. Down the famous hill. I noticed there was a big old hill at Leeds Bradford, from what I could see from the stream the other night with Blue Sky Live. There's a departure coming up, don't go anywhere, folks. 2 departures, in fact. One blue, then one orange. Because miraculously, Ryanair has managed to get in front of the of the EasyJet we saw taxiing up there. I can't quite work that one out. There you go, looking lovely in the sun there. There's your Uniform Zulu Hotel Indigo that you saw the stats for earlier. Right, let's concentrate on this takeoff now. I can tell you now already that I'm going to have a problem here, so I'm just going to alter my position of my little gadget here. I don't know if anybody else in the streamer world has all these problems with other things banging into other things when you're trying to pan. On approach there as well, so we'll catch that for you straight after this Ryanair departure. Another EasyJet departure to come, but first of all we have an arrival somewhere. Silver liveried 737-800 from Jet2 joining us. Two waiting for departure now. Do you know something we haven't done for a long time as well? Just one second.
Hold that Golf X-ray in UQ and H1024.
There we are. I can't retransmit the air traffic control audio, but I can keep an ear on it here myself. I think my chat has crashed again, so I should just see if I can sort that out. Oh, you can see there's been loads of chat. Sorry, my chat thing crashes, so what I'll do is I'll just I'll catch up with it in just a second, folks. True that, Blue Sky. We'll definitely I'm going to definitely do that redirect if I can work it out. Darlow, Lord Darlow, welcome to the stream. Welcome today. Great to have you here. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. That was a bit nicer, wasn't it? I've been working on the pan, trying to get the pan right. Another arrival before any more departures. Another spot in the sky that I shall seemingly have a lot of trouble picking out. There it is. Stuff. Is that the KLM Embraer? I think if you're getting the pop-ups, by the way, just so you know, for context, I don't see them at the time they go out. I kind of have to guess whether they're going to go out or not, which is a symptom of my dodgy programming, but it's all part of the way you have to try and capture the data and capture planes that are in certain zones to show you the pop-ups, because otherwise you'd be seeing pop-ups for all the planes that are on the ground at the moment or anything that flies over. We've just passed 450 subscribers, which is absolute madness, because I think we were at something like 426 this morning, so welcome everybody. I cannot thank you enough for joining us. I know you have such a great choice of streams to choose from on the internet at some amazing airports, so for coming down here to Bristol with us and watching the sights, watching the Embraers, watching the Airbuses, watching the Boeings, 737s, etc. It is amazing to have your company. Thank you. Each and every one of you, very, very welcome. very much part of our early story as well. I think you can consider yourselves. Right, another departure, folks. Off. One more to go. We're just panning around a bit slowly because I don't want to unscrew the thread like I did earlier. Chaos, absolute chaos. Right, here we are then. Yeah, Lucy, regarding the scanner, I think specifically rebroadcasting it is definitely a no-no in the UK. It's allowed in the US. I'll come back to everybody's comments, by the way. My chat app crashed, so as soon as we get this departure out of the way, I'll have a look. Right, but firstly I should say Blue Sky, thank you very much for that info. I am going to definitely try and set that redirect up for future streams if I can't do it today. Right, let's see if I can answer some of your chat queries. There's a Ryanair to go. Oh yeah, the Neos are nice planes, Lucy. I'm always like over the moon if I get a Neo on an EasyJet. Let's have a look. There was, oh yeah, right, okay. There was a Barney. We won't talk about that on here, folks. Sorry, I appreciate I'm behind the chat here, but we've all settled that, haven't we? So we've done that bit. Let's have a look. Brilliant, Blue Sky Aviation. Thank you for that information, and thank you for adding me to yours. I need to definitely do the same and see what we can do. Darla, it's great you're here. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. Right. Lord Darlow, Bristol, not far down the M6 and M5 for me. Ah, fantastic stuff. I always gathered you were much nearer aviation action. Is that that sort of airport area, Darlow? Ruben Corbett, which scanner do you use for ATC? I have a very old scanner, which was gifted to me many years ago by a very close family member, and it's a Upatero 7100. I don't even know if you can get them these days. It's reliable enough, but everybody I hear talks about the Uniden Bearcat scanners as being very good if you're looking to buy one these days. I'll show you a picture of this one in a moment. It's proper old school. Sorry folks, some of those pans, I'll be the first to tell you, I am absolutely hopeless at. But every time I think we get a little bit better, with the exception of that one, which was a disaster. Right, Lord Darlow, I've never seen a stream with pop-ups, so it's good. I'm glad you're enjoying the pop-ups. It's tech that we can do thanks to the generosity of our partners, or our friends I should say, at Radar Box. They've given us access to some data, and I'm a programmer, so I'm trying to kind of bring it all together, which is always what I wanted to do with this channel. Let's have a look. A bit of discussion about ATC, that's how I understand it, I think. I will, hopefully the ATC isn't sort of a prominent part of the stream, it's just so I can hear when you planes are getting takeoff clearance realistically. Thank you for hitting like, that's much appreciated as well, thank you so much. Lord Della, I've never been to Bristol as I headed to Ilfracombe. I do know from watching Airline on YouTube, Go used to be based here, and obviously it is now EasyJet. Yeah, absolutely, they effectively bought Bristol's operation, didn't they? That seems a long time ago now. Let's have a look. Is it me or is it quite chilly? Lord Darlow, I'm with you there. Let me just, again, demonstrate. Anybody else would be in a t-shirt right now, yeah? They'd be in a t-shirt and they would be enjoying the sunshine. Look at me. Look at the state of me. Freezing up here. It's the wind. The sun's lovely, but the wind is very, very cold. All right, Jet 2 departure coming up soon. Blue Sky Live Aviation, I think I probably missed you now. Thank you for popping in, it's been great to see you. Plinko, I live on the flight path to BHX, runway 15 in the Black Country. Do get the flyers for each LR. That's great stuff. Here's a little general aviation sneaking out, folks. Do struggle trying to find a steady kind of method. There you go, you should see the registration of that one. If you watch your stream back later and you are on that plane, then you are looking very good, sir or madam. Right, 54 likes, 76 watching, hit the like if you're liking what you're seeing. Thank you ever so much, it's just brilliant folks. Cannot say thank you enough for joining us here today at Bristol Airport. It's a sunny Bristol Airport, but it is blustery and it is quite chilly, as you probably saw from my attire. There will of course be loads of other people in shorts. I'm just the weird one, I think. Tomorrow to meet mate, watch footy with a few beers. Inbound easy 32214 from Belfast, due in at 1:40. Fantastic, well we'll be here to catch that. We're not going anywhere for a while. If you are new to the stream, you might even see the Bristol Bunnies today, which live in this field and occasionally make an appearance, but no sign today, otherwise I will bring it to you. Next departure just sits there. If the ATC is distracting for anybody, let me know and I'll turn it down. over the place, isn't it? Not the plane, me. Lord Darlow, I think you're right. That feels like such a long time ago that Go were around. That was British Airways. Low-cost arm, wasn't it? Another departure, making its way up to the start of 09 here at Bristol, because it's easterly operations, which they're taking off to the east, landing from the west. In other circumstances, when it's the opposite direction, you'll get some great overhead landings from here. For those of you new to the channel, let me just pan round again. The site here. If you come into Bristol, you will of course generally land to the west. You'll see that on the right hand side of the plane. It's Dundry Hill. And you'll get a fabulous view over the fields here. If you come in on a Friday, you'll even get me dressed in appropriately for summer, which is a real bonus as well. So you'll get overheads right over here and a touchdown spot, just as you can probably see the marks on the runway there, and sometimes, well, about there, but the bush has grown a little bit at the moment, so we don't get it quite as clear as we used to. Oh, what's going on, folks? Let's have a look. Passing car near the ATC. Yeah, that's the intention. I think it's a kind of a grey area, and I certainly don't want to cause any problems to anybody. So it's just on there really, so I can hear when there's been a takeoff clearance. Even now, I can't particularly hear it, to be honest. Yeah, thank you to our friends at Bristol Airport, by the way, who are aware of our existence here, and we make them aware of the times we're here, so they know for security purposes and everything. So it's great that we do this with their knowledge and their blessing as such. But for that reason, you will find that if you're following us with flight radar, you will see there's a little delay, and that's due to a security delay that we've been asked to introduce to the stream. So you might see a little bit of a disconnect between your flight radar 24 or your radar box or your choice of app compared to what you're seeing here on screen. That is all intentional, and that's also why I take a little bit of time to reply to you on the chat as well. Plenty of lovely, smooth, uneventful, we're delighted to say, landings here at Bristol. And Lucy Sharman's favourite orange plane is back. Or airline, orange airline I should say. Right, inbound Trev Lyon, inbound EasyJet 32214 from Luton, ETA 143. Fantastic. There we go, there's a bit of a shot for you there, isn't there? A bit of an orange shot, Lucy. Oh, get it right, there you go. We don't normally have a Luton service, do we, Trev? What's going on there? Bit of a transfer. Oh yeah, in regards to the weather, I was proper cold here on Bank Holiday Monday. The wind was worse, to be fair. Sweep round as quick as I can for the inbound, folks. Sorry if your pop-ups are out of sync. Nothing worse than pop-outs out of a sync on Friday, is there? Blimey. Wonder if it'll be Jesus. Come on, Jesus, we want to see you. Golf Echo Zulu, Uniform Sierra, we are here for you. Bet it's not, though. Safely down from the utter glamour of Luton to the even more glamorous Bristol. What a journey. My first ever flight was from Luton Airport. Luton International Airport, as it was definitely branded back in those days. 1983, maybe 84. Blimey. Very gentle rollout for this particular one, and the registration Papa Echo, Echo Zulu Papa Echo. Back to the approaches as we have more for you. That bit of dust on my screen thinks it's funny. Keeps making me think it's a plane. Right, let's try that one. Welcome to Bristol, everybody who's just joined us. We are Planecaster, and this is primarily our home airport. You will see the occasional guest stream from somewhere else though. And welcome back, Liam's Aviation. This is the Jet 2 from Thessaloniki. Can't say that ever. Thessaloniki. There you go. No, I have said it. There you go. Surely that sounded quite credible, didn't it? Thessaloniki. Ruben, thoughts on Qatar's return to CWL? Surely it can't be profitable. Well, you just don't know what kind of sweetener they're getting again to come to the airport, do you? But I do accept the premise of your point, because if it was profitable to fly planes in and out of Cardiff, then surely there'd be more airlines doing it. Having said that, you do have Ryanair doing it, and Ryanair are notorious for driving down a deal, aren't they? So I don't know really. I wish I knew more about it. I'm glad to see them back though. It'd be a nice little stream to try and capture from there, but I think probably it would just be that and maybe a small handful of movements. That's the problem, isn't it? We can see though. I like flying from Cardiff, and the limited times that I've done it, I found it a very enjoyable airport to fly from. Although I will say that the Vueling flight I took, which was party central for a group of very, very, very merry people who were sat around me, wasn't the most enjoyable 2 hours I ever had, but hey, they were having fun, right? I have been on some party flights, blimey. And it's never me who's having the party. Right, Love Aviation, hello, thanks for joining us, nice to see you, hope all is well. Love Aviation, another one of our fantastic moderators, thanks for joining us today. Let's have a look. What's going on here now? Looks like in the 2 o'clock hour we'll be picking up on the arrivals again. 1401, 1403, 1424, 1428, etc. So plenty going on there. That's the Skiathos arrival perhaps will be our last. Looks like we've got 3 737 Maxes coming from 2 Greek destinations and 1 Bulgarian in the next hour. Let's show you what I can see here while we have a second. There is an arrival inbound as well. Hopefully I'll have that on the screen ready for you when you return to us with the titles. I don't think after all that the arrivals board came up, did it, folks? Sorry, I was trying to bring you arrivals. Anyway, let's bring you this first. My dad has just joined. Hello from Essex, Dad. Hope you're well. That thunderous noise is not of the 737 you see in front of you, it is just the wind. It seems to respond to the zoom button. If I zoom out, the wind dies down. Oh, actually, maybe not. It was just coincidence then. Horse riders just go past me here on the common. Right, while we have a second, let's see if I can bring you the arrivals reliably this time. You might see details there of the one that just landed, possibly. Very much still working on our titling and our various uses of the fantastic data that Flight Radar have given us Radar Box have given us access to. That was a slip of the tongue, wasn't it? Blimey. I'll be in jail now. That's Radar Box, the lovely people at AirNav's Radar Box have given us access to. The arrival information you see as well, by the way, only ever relates to stuff that's already departed. So if there's stuff to depart on shorter flights, then you won't see that on the list yet. That's not the sum of all the arrivals. I am working to bring together all the information, including all the scheduling data we can get access to, and hopefully bring you a better layout in due course. I've got to say welcome to you if you've just joined us today. It looks like we've got loads of new people today, which is wonderful. You're live here at Bristol Airport, and you are very, very welcome. When I say live, I mean with a small delay for security reasons, but essentially, you know what I'm saying. Next departure lines up. This is your Heraklion service in a 737-800 with Jet 2. If you've just joined us today, we are Planecaster. Thank you so much. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here. I'm desperately grappling with my app at the moment, so apologies if your on-screen graphics are slightly weird. Another arrival on the way. I'll get that for you as I just get this working correctly. Right. Some of these arrivals are very hard to spot in the sky. Apologies if you can see them. Just kind of using a frame of reference about there it is. Right, okay. First propeller of the day. It's been far too long since I had a flight on a propeller plane. My chat crashed again, folks, so apologies if I haven't responded in a bit. I'm catching up now. Right, I'll go through all the chat in just a second. Let's do one thing at a time. Lovely looking plane, this. Okay. Let's just zoom out a moment. Let me try and catch up with the chat. I do apologise for neglecting you all, folks. Right, so let's have a look. After Ruben, Liam was back. That's it. Luton are now in the Premier League. Good Lord. I know. Big news, wasn't it? What a football weekend that was. It was all happening. Yep, sadly not GEsus. Another departure for you in a second. Inbound Ryanair 737 from Milan at 1:48. Well, I guess we've caught that, haven't we? Yep, sorry. Blimey, I have neglected the chat for a bit, haven't I? Sorry, it keeps crashing at my end in my defence. Person EQR drops Cardiff to return Edinburgh and Birmingham. Liam's been on one of the flights that we covered. That's cool, isn't it? I love that when you see that. Right. A little bit of chat about that fun. Glad to hear you're fine, Dad. Right, let's get back to this departure and I'll catch up on this chat a little bit more. Sorry, folks. Simon's just had a message in from Radar Box. I'm sacked. I'm not surprised. What a faux pas that was, eh? I'll work on my accuracy as we watch this British Airways jumbo jet take off. Oh, done it again. So they have a lovely flight. Another arrival on the way now. Let's see if I can seek that out in the sky with my stealth skills. Absolutely hopeless today. Straight above the tree line there we are, right. You'd think the camera would know where it is and be able to do it itself by now, wouldn't you? Adrian Wigg, hello, welcome to the stream and the screen. Oh, I'm struggling today, mate. Welcome, you're very welcome. Annie B58, welcome. Or Annie by 58, sorry. Thank you, Liam's Aviation, for sub update. That is absolutely fantastic. I can't quite believe it. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So glad so many people are enjoying the action from Bristol. You know, it's an airport that doesn't get that much love, and I'm glad that we're part of the story here. And all of you who are with us, you're very much part of our early story, and you know, thank you so much for that. That's amazing, you know. This is the Enfida service, A319. I'm pretty sure, looking at the chat there, if you are seeing pop-ups that come up on the screen, I don't see them at the same time, I'm afraid, folks. I'm still working on that particular tech, but it's all complicated by the fact we need to put a delay in place, and the signals are not generated by me here, they're generated in my house where the stream kind of comes from properly. one to go, one just arrived. Let's have a quick look at this one. Are you Jesus? Let's see. Probably not on the balance of probability, looking where Jesus goes. The answer is no. You are Foxtrot Romeo. Let's concentrate on this next departure, which my highly reliable information source is able to tell me is making its way to Newcastle. And if you like Newcastle streams, then you need to go and have a look at Plain Sailing Aviation. They've got a channel, they're based at Newcastle, plus Mark and Eddie do travel around to other airports as well, but that's their base, so well worth joining them and subscribing if you haven't already done so. A similar sized airport to Bristol, and that's where this little airbus is off to. And there will definitely be no stag and hen parties on this flight, right? Absolutely not. That would never happen. You could practically hear the stereo pumping and the Prosecco bottles opening as it went past. How are we doing, folks? Still a very well loaded airport despite the departures, because we've had a stream of arrivals as well. This is how it's looking at the minute. Another couple of EasyJets behind the leaves there. Also got one over here that's feeling a bit sorry for itself. It's been there for a while. Whiskey Yankee. Right. Again, the chat has frozen. Again, I will send you my sincerest apologies for neglecting it even. Right. Thanks for the PSA shout out, Alibi 58, absolutely, my pleasure. It's taken me a second to realise who I'm talking to there, sorry. Absolute pleasure. The Aegean looking a little bit sad there over there on that remote stand. Is that somebody waiting to to move it on? Yeah, I think so. Perhaps we'll be seeing that move pretty soon. $30 subs today, well done. Oh, thank you. Liam's Aviation 8, thank you very much for letting us know. That is brilliant. I am knocked out. I'm genuinely knocked out. Thank you folks for joining us today. 82 likes, let's hit the magic 100. I'm all for that, Simon. Great advice. I won't engage in the football talk precisely because I know nothing about it, and if you want to know how little I know about it, the team I support is Torquay United, and I think that's where the football conversation ends. Although I suppose I could claim to also have an affinity to Braintree Town, which is the town I'm from. Oh, say a little generation there, me trying to catch a drink. Sorry folks, that was a one-handed, non-committed approach. Just having a quick drink. I can't help thinking how nice a pint of cold Madri would be right now. That is my pint of choice, and I will absolutely smash a pint of that. Not that I could, of course, because I've got to drive home. But when I get home, I think the local might be seeing me tonight. Right. Yeah, it's definitely a very loose support now, Lord Darley. Quick question, how do you live stream on YouTube? Liam's Aviation, in general do you mean? Because you can go, depending on your mobile phone equipment and your kind of status of your channel, you can probably go live via your mobile phone if you want to. But the way we do it is via a hardware encoder, a proper camera or a camcorder of some sort you would use plugged into HDMI, and then you have to send that to a service that can receive it either directly into YouTube or via a third-party piece of software. In my case I use OBS Broadcaster like a lot of people do, just so that I can add some extra stuff into the feed, you see. I must also, again, just say, if you've come over to us today from another platform, then hi, welcome. If you are watching us still on Facebook Live, on Twitter or on Twitch, then welcome, and thank you so much for watching us today. We can't see any of your chat messages though, so if you want to come and join the chat, come over to youtube.com/@planecaster, an incredibly friendly bunch, great mods, and we will make you feel very welcome, and you'll be glad you did, and we will too. Yeah, it looks like the Aegean's on its way. Oh my goodness me, right. Okay. Right, excuse me folks, I just saw how the subscribers again have climbed today on this stream. I'm so grateful that you've all come and joined us, thank you. Just give me 1 second, see if I can find some information on this Aegean flight today. So it's an A320neo, its registration is SXNEQ. Yeah. NEQ, let's see what that one has been up to while we wait for it to make its way to the end of the runway. This is like our version of the Dawn Chorus. Yeah, Madrid has got this kind of amazing, authentic Madrid brand, and it's made up the road, isn't it? I've got a friend who works for Cause, Lord Darley. I remember when Madrid got introduced, he said, "You'll like this." He knows I've got very simple taste in lager. Okay, well those stats that have just come up are reflective of the fact this must be, yes, this is a brand new plane, so... Oh, John Williams, thank you for your comment. Brilliant, thank you very much. I've just seen the screen that we put up. I don't see the screen until it kind of replays to me on the stream about a minute later, but I've just seen it's got 0, so it's a brand new plane this. First flight was in April 2023, so no real stats to show you. Well, I say brand new, it's a month old, but nothing much to show you. Yeah, John Williams, absolute great to have your company. Spaten on draft for tonight. What's Spartan then? Spartan or Spaten? Sorry. Pint of extra cold Guinness. Oh my goodness, yes, that does sound good. I think the best thing I could do probably is build a bar here, because I'm not busy enough doing the stream, am I? I've definitely got a few spare pairs of hands. And I could serve behind the bar as well. Fantastic stuff. Beer and planes, amazing. Right, Liam's Aviation. I thought you had to have 1,000. Possibly it's 1,000 to go from your phone. I think actually it's 1,000 to monetize. I think I was able to go live from equipment once I had 50 subscribers, but you also have to go through an ID process and various stuff like that. You may well be already in the zone. You just need to have a look at what the requirements are for broadcasting from a computer. Wishing you all the best with it, obviously. Here's the AG and Neo. Pretty much brand new plane smell and all that. Sorry I couldn't go any closer there, folks. That has taken off very light, I would imagine, from the sound and the angle. So I wasn't able to bring you that wonderful livery from the side, but there they go, off to Athens. Very nice too. Jet 2 departure for you next, making its way up the runway. There we go. Chat's crashed again. Inbound Tui 737 MAX 8 from Burgess. Yeah, that's at 2:27. I think we might have three 737 Maxes coming in close succession, actually, from the earlier stats I was looking at. Welcome, John. Is that a dog? It's several dogs, I think. Right, looking up there, we've got 2 departures to come then. There we go, plenty going on. Manchester has a pub at the end of the runway. Birmingham did, but it was demolished for road or airport upgrades, and apparently it was a bit rough. Got closed by the police a few times. Oh no. We'd all be there for the planes, wouldn't we? Not the fisticuffs. So to all our new subscribers today, massive welcome to you, and to our returning people who we look forward to seeing every week, welcome back as well. It's just wonderful to have you here, and you know, it's wonderful that we've come to the attention of so many people today, and thank you to whoever's helped to spread the word. You have my eternal gratefulness. I was going to say graternity, but that would be entirely made up. So we'll go for gratefulness. Appreciation. Love. Affection. That's enough. Right. Departure on the roll very shortly. KLM, I believe. we are. Helicopter approaching the field now, which we'll bring you a little shot of here. Disappeared under the hedge, but it's definitely there, making its way to the business centre, which is kind of over that side there. Right, the next departure is on its way. Sorry about the focusing, there we are. Jet 2 makes its way up to the end of the runway. This is off to Tenerife South. Just shy of 4 hours journey, I would say, and it's a 737-800. We'll see how well laden this one is on the profile of the takeoff. I would imagine this one will probably leave a little bit later than some of the other ones we've seen so far, if it's full anyway. Soon find out. Right. So Corfu 737 MAX 8 on its way. A Burgess 737 MAX is probably next on approach. And we have a Barcelona 320 CEO as well. So a little bit of arrival action. We're here for a few more minutes. We'll definitely catch things until it dies down, that's for sure. Oh, I kicked the radio over there. Right. Oh, great chat about lager on here. I can't wait to catch up with this later. Tennants. Oh, now a pint of Tennants. A lot of people slate Tennants for some reason, but they just haven't drunk it. I love a pint of Tennants, I do. Wow. It's making me thirsty now. Just seen people at Manchester drinking lager in the beer garden as an A380 passed over. I mean, that's living the dream, isn't it? Lord Dado, to be honest, I think people come to these smaller channels because a lot of the bigger channels are over members only and you can't connect, or there's squabbling, etc. Yeah, there's. I think you're probably right, and that's. I must say that in terms of my own viewing habits, you'll often find me on the non-massive channels. Let's put it that way. because the other channels that I'm watching are still much bigger than myself. But yeah, it's been absolutely mind-blowing how many people have come to us today. Fantastic. Somebody said earlier about becoming a mod. If you'd like to drop me an email, that would be fantastic. We would love to have you help us out if you've got the time to do so. Let me know. Contact@planecaster.uk. That's contact@planecaster.uk. If you could drop me an email, that would be amazing. Helicopters. There'd be helicopters, right? Hold on a minute. It's approaching from the worst possible angle. Right behind me. There we are. I don't think that's going to do anything to do in the airport. So let's move around to focus on these other things now. We've got a departure, at least one departure there, and some 737 Maxes to bring in. Braintree and non-league, yeah, absolutely. Oh, now, Madrid, the Spanish Carling, I'm not sure if I can accept that. You won't ever find me gasping for a pint of Carling. I think I'd rather have a glass of water. Okay, one on arrival now. Give me a craft beer any day over lager. I struggle to see the appeal of craft beer. There is one we have in Cardiff. I can't remember the brewery now. It's called Tropica, sorry. And I can kind of. That's a nice pint. I suppose you'd call that. Would you call that a craft beer? Is it made in too high a volume to be called a craft beer? I don't know. Brewdog, is it? Not Brewdog, the other one. It's a Max 8 on approach now. And Tui. As the cameraman attempts not to get blown over. Amazing how these pilots can land a plane in this wind, no trouble at all, but I can't even hold a camera straight. It's a valid criticism. Right, and we'll see another Max 8 in a moment. Landing, that is. Every time, I know I say this a lot, but you can just see why the Neos and the Maxes are so much more popular with residents, or will be. So quiet. Is that TURG or TUMG? Should be TUM, shouldn't it? TUMG, there you go. Okay. Alibi, I think that's fantastic advice, thank you. That's definitely an area that I am pretty inexperienced with. This one's off to Rome. It's a Airbus 321neo, so the bigger Airbus that EasyJet fly. 321neo, very much plain at the moment, isn't it? With various airlines looking to fly it long haul, mid haul, etc. I still haven't been on an EasyJet 321. Other end of the runway, so let's bring it back round there for a minute. Just need to double check something, bear with me. So the Sciathos to Bristol is actually going overhead in the opposite direction, but it's 8,000 feet, which is kind of strange. And then 6,500 feet below it is the Barcelona's Bristol arrival, which we should have for you in just a second. Somewhere around there. Some fantastic approaches going on over the channel, some great patterns. Spanish San Miguel is not too bad, Mick Hardy said. Do you know what I learnt the other night, Mick, that San Miguel is allegedly, now Filipino. It may have originated in Spain though, but it's a Filipino company now, San Miguel. Good to have your company, Mick. Welcome to the stream. Lovely stuff here at Bristol Airport. A few people making their way to watch the arrivals, having a picnic. Good on them. Fantastic day for it. Estrella. Estrella, that's a nice pint. But I can only drink it when it's very hot. I don't find it. I think it's a weather beer, that is, in my view. Let's have a look at the registration there. Echo Zulu. Tom Jones. Not unusual to see that one here. Thank you very much. I'm here a week, except I'm not. I'm probably here for another few minutes, especially with a comedy career like that, eh? Another Max to, I think it's a Max to take off now. I'll just double check that. Sorry, regular 737-800 now to Zakynthos, the island of Zante. Beautiful stuff. That was the other. Oh no, there's one hot on the hills actually as well on approach. Zakynthos and Zante was the only other go around I had, but it was such a kind of insignificant. The way it was done was so insignificant it didn't really feel like a go around. But the pilot confirmed that the plane in front just needed a little bit more time, so he did a little loop. Great views out the window, that's for sure. Lovely. Right, keep the camera up there. Try not to invade people's privacy. Let's get this approach. I said this was hot on the hills. John Williams, this channel is like a breath of relaxing fresh air. Thank you, John. Mind you probably haven't heard me speak then. In that case, I tend to talk a fair load of rubbish, to be honest with you. But welcome to the stream. You're very, very welcome. I hope we see you again next week when we'll be back on here live from Bristol about 11:30 in the morning. Let's get this back on here now. Give you a registration of this one. Try and do several things at once. That is TUMD. Movements at the airport now. Let's just have a quick look. I won't be with you for much longer, folks. There is a Glasgow to Bristol arrival which will be coming on. That is Echo Zulu Bravo Bravo, the registration of that one. We'll be seeing that in a moment. Coming in for landing. Got a little light aircraft as well. Barrow Inverness to Bristol that's on approach now. But before then we are going to catch a takeoff of this Bristol to Rhodes service with Jet 2, which is a 737-800, and again Rhodes good for 3 or 4 hours flying time, so hopefully this will we'll get this one nice and low as it takes off. We'll get a good angle on it. John Hughes. Hi Danny, new to your stream. Welcome, John Hughes. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks for taking that time. It's great to have you here. Another departure into wonderful blue skies here up at Bristol Airport. Bit blustery, as you can hear, as it has been most of the day, and it was like this on Monday. Light aircraft coming in now. I'm not sure how much success we'll have catching the. Let's have a look. It is quite a small one, this, so let's have a look. So it's about there. Have to wait till that one gets a little bit closer. Yeah, so good afternoon, John Hughes. Oh, Kronenberg. I always find Kronenberg is an absolute hardcore lager. If you can drink that, you're a proper drinker. I always struggle with Kronenberg. I find it a bit bitter. I remember flying to Madeira from Bristol years ago, and they stopped the traffic with the level crossing style lights at the end of the runway. Dan Air 727, those were the days. Wow. John, I wish you had been here earlier. We had some great discussion about some flights in older days at the airport, days gone by, I should say. There was talk of a Viscount. putting it down nicely there. Sorry about the shakes today, folks. It is the wind hitting the camera. We are like a bit of a sail with all the equipment we've got stuck on. Thank you, John. Much appreciated. I have to say the takeoff shots are getting better, but they're not a patch on other stuff I've seen. It's just I am very new to the whole camera work thing. I'm far more of a tech person, so when you see anything to do with tech on the screen, that's to do with me. Right, okay, let's have a look, see where we are today. Folks, you've just been absolutely amazing. Every time I look at the subscribers, it's going up. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. I think what we'll do then is we'll catch this last takeoff now, and that'll be it for today. We'll be back next Friday, but let's catch that first. Oh, look, there's just one more going up there as well. Is that going for departure or is that just arriving? Let me just see. If that's on its way out, we'll catch that one as well. But then I'll have to be off, I'm afraid, folks. Point of Madry. There's definitely one of them tonight. Oh, a bit bumpy on that, not on the plane, but in terms of my photography there. Oh, look, another rival. They won't let me go now, will they? Let's just catch this. And then we'll call it a day. I've really enjoyed being here doing this with you guys. Thank you so much for your chat contributions and everything today. It's just been brilliant. The amount of new people who have found us is staggering, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad to see the people who've joined us in previous weeks as well. It's what makes for a great community, so thank you. I can see one more, I can see two more going off for takeoff, but I am going to have to disappear. What I'll do is just quickly say my goodbyes now. I put the camera very low today. Right, folks, thank you very much for joining us. This has been Planecaster live from Bristol Airport here every Friday, and I can't believe how many of you have joined us today. It is an absolute pleasure to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to all those people who come back every week and join us on the chat. Thanks to our mods. And yeah, we've got so much more to bring you in coming weeks, so I'll keep developing the tech and we'll turn up here and we'll film the planes and we'll have a nice chat together. So thank you ever so much, guys. Let me have a quick look just before we go. Let me just have a quick look. Firstly, we've got to take off, which I will bring you before we go. But it looks to me like, let's have a look. If you want to go to Birmingham, you've got Kev Airport Action is on streaming live now from Birmingham, so you can make your way over to there if that's what you fancy. You've got a live show thanks to Ted Coningsby, is it USAF 48 Fighter Wing RAF in Lakenheath. Aberdeen Airport with Mac Aviation. Actually, that's just finished, so my bet is you want to go to Birmingham Airport with Kev and a very friendly community there. This one's catching the wind a bit. Right, let's pan that out a little bit. So I hope you have the most amazing time. I will review the chat properly when I get home and have the chance to do so when I'm not trying to juggle several other things, which is quite often the case here. But I cannot thank you enough for joining us today. I really am humbled by everybody who comes to join us. Thank you so much. I would say to the invisible person in the control room, run VT, but I haven't got anybody in the damn control room, have I? So I'll just run it myself. Thanks guys, we'll see you again. Take care.